It's now December. We hear the sleigh bells jingle jangling, and I still sound really American despite having lived in London for almost 3 years now. Just 2 weeks ago was Black Friday, and I know Black Friday has some really consumerist, capitalist connotations that are extremely negative, but I fell into it because who wouldn't? I mean, if you don't fall into it, good on you. But I bought myself a palette that I have been wanting for ages, and it basically just reached the airport on Saturday morning, and I've been waiting for my palette, and that is what this video is about, waiting for my palette. So it's Tuesday. What I really want to do is go and check the mailbox to see if it's in the mailbox. Probably won't be in the mailbox though, but you know, one can always hope. Keys. We are heading out. Okay, there is something, but that's probably not for me. This is from Germany! I was fully joking about it, like, not coming today. I really thought I would take another day. Where are my keys? Oh no, did I lock myself out? The last time I checked the tracking on Royal Mail, there were no other updates, so I thought, oh, it'll be at least tomorrow or the end of the week. But I got it today. And it's the best feeling. I can't believe it's actually here. It wasn't cheap, but I don't know, I've just been dreaming about this. Oh! It's also nice and cold because I realized the past few days, like, the mail gets really cold because it's outside where it's cold, and then when you take it right indoors, it's like really nice and like crispy cold. Oh my gosh, look at that design. I like how it fits just in my hand as well. Time to put things in. I think this is really lovely and I can't wait to use it. I'm unhappy with this white balance, but that is life and that is it. So I'm gonna swatch a few of the colors because I can't wait to get my dirty fingers into it. Oh, I do have a light. Okay, this helps. So this is really nice. It's a bit drier and you do have to layer it up, but once you do, it's really gorgeous. So this is like one layer of the forest green. Their mattes feel really nice. And that's my whole palette. Isn't that? I'm just really proud of how cohesive it is because I think I'm talking about this like I'm about to release this palette, which I'm not because I made this myself, paid for my own money. But if any brands would like to collaborate with me, please do so. I have absolutely no influence whatsoever, but I love color stories that are more unique and stuff because I own too much makeup. Hi, Merry Christmas, it's me again, and I'm here with a makeup video because I was supposed to do this because I got a new palette this past week. I love the color story of this. I know it's not for everyone, but I think it really complements my collection quite well because I don't have that many greens, I don't have that many blues, and I was just so excited to receive this, and this is why I've just made 2 looks using this palette and of course some existing shades that I have, and they're kind of holiday themed, I guess, because they are a bit more dramatic. The other one is not as crazy as this one, but this is like the all-out I'm gonna see my family and I want to look gorgeous. I don't know, what if I just don't? I did have to refilm the second part because I didn't like the second look that I made yesterday, but the first one worked out quite well. Thanks for Audrey for forcing me to make this. Yeah, like I did make a lot of other videos, but I never ended up posting them. So yeah, just keep on watching if you'd like to see what I have made. Kicking off my base routine with the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, I like to take the excess at the very top of the tube because it is so full coverage that I only need to use the tiniest bit. I then blend this out with my fingers and a beauty blender. I find that this just gives a really natural and hydrated finish on the skin, which is nice. Then I'm using the Maybelline Dream Urban Cover with the LA Girl Green Concealer. This helps to cancel out some of the redness in my skin and helps foundation match my undertone better than out of the tube. You can see I'm not using a lot because I don't like heavy foundation on my skin, so just a little bit goes a long way. And then I'll blend that out using a beauty blender on the rest of my face. For spot concealing, I'm taking the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. It's a longtime favorite of mine and I've been using it for ages and I still haven't ran out, but it's just going on over the more red spots of my face in the center. I tend to focus concealing in the center of my face anyway. And then I use a beauty blender to make sure that it is all seamless. Using a sponge again, I'm applying the Fenty Beauty Match Sticks to my face. This just gives a really natural finish and it makes it easier to apply than straight off from the stick. I also like to bronze up my jaw a little bit, but it depends on who you are and your face. Then I'm using the MAC Glow Play blush, super graceful there, and using a sponge to apply that to my cheeks as well. Next, I'm using my favorite, probably discontinued face powder from NYX and just applying a really light layer across my face. I don't want this to be too heavy because, yeah, too much powder isn't always great. And then just to make sure there's no oil in my brows, I'm just putting this translucent one over them so I can apply my brow products. Currently I use a brow marker, a brow powder, and a brow pencil, and I did this off screen because that's just intimidating. Then here I'm just priming my eyes with the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Primer. I like to apply this by just tapping really gently so it's spread thinly everywhere. Here's my lovely Lethal palette. Look at how gorgeous these colors are. I'm just so excited by looking at it. And my trusty ColourPop palette is here to provide transition shades for me because I will be using some unconventional colors. Please make sure you blend things out really good. I cut out a lot of my self-blending in these videos because it's boring, but just be assured it's something I'm constantly doing. The primary color of this look is going to be this deep seafoam green. I'm using a tiny blending brush to apply this because I want to keep it in a contained area and make sure things don't get really messy, and a small brush helps to do that. And then I would go into a larger blending brush to make sure it goes into the rest of the skin and isn't a harsh line. I'm dipping into this darker green to create more drama and dimension in the eye look. You can see that when I dip into the pan, I'm doing this really lightly because these are really pigmented shades. I'm creating a winged out eyeshadow shape because I find it flatters me the most, and to sharpen this you can use a foundation powder to sort of fix the edges. At this point I like to go over what I haven't done yet, and I didn't have the seafoam green in my inner corners, so this is what I'm just doing here. Then I'm going over it with this duochrome from the Subculture palette. I like putting it over a pigmented base so it just stands out a bit more. Then I'm going to go into the Forest Shiny Green from the Lethal palette and patting this right in the center of my eye. I absolutely love how this looks and it really gives off a lovely jewel kind of shine, and I'm just blending the edges with my big blending brush that I was using earlier to make sure the edges are seamless. Then I'm using the darker matte green and blending this on my lower lash line. Then I'm highlighting the inner corner with the duochrome. I'm finishing this off with a classic liquid eyeliner. Bear with me because I do skip through this whole process, but just know that I took ages getting it perfect. You don't want too big of a wing, but also you don't want it to be too small so it's not noticeable. Give your lashes a quick curl and top it off with your favorite mascara. I'm using the Glossier one because I was going to do a second look after this and didn't want to ruin my lashes too much, but I ended up erasing that anyway, so no matter. Keeping up with the festive theme, I'm going for a sheer red lip tint stain thing. And that concludes the first look. I hope you like it because I really did, and I rarely wear greens. I think like the sheer red lip also pairs with it really well, so it's nice and classy. Moving on to the second look, I'm using the eye primer and doing the same thing as I did in the first one. This is the second day, but I've kept the base and everything the same. I'm starting off with this powder blue and just patting this all over my eyelid just to have it down, and then blending the edges out. This is more out there than the other look, but I'm still going to wing the shadow out to create that shape. Then I'm using this wine color to wing out the edges and create a V shape, just following along the crease of my eye. This is just to make the color deeper in that area and also create a nice gradient. I'm then blending this out with the lilac shade in the Lethal palette, just so the edges of that wine blend back into my skin and isn't super harsh. So just keep blending, and this is also a good place to make sure the blue also blends into the wine at the corner of the eye, and flick the brush outwards to create that wing again. Then I'm dipping into a darker blue and putting this in the outer corners of the eye. For this look, I did want it to be more graphic eyeshadow inspired, but also nice and blended because that's just what I like. So I'm just adding more dimension here, but making sure the colors pop. Then I'm taking this really bright blue and almost cutting the front crease of my eye, if that makes sense. I realized I really like this look lately, so this is what I'm doing, but also pat it into the other shades from the middle of your eye. Then I'm using a black to create a sort of wing. Again, I really want some dimension here, which is why I've concentrated this on the outer corner, almost like an eyeliner. And then here I'm making sure the purple blends into the blues. There is a lot of blending, but even at the end result, I feel like I could have blended more. Then I'm using a foundation powder to clean up the edges. I'm then using this blue-black sort of duochrome and passing that right in the center of my eyelids. I'm a strong believer in using my fingers for shimmer shades because I think that just helps the glitters shine out really well and your brush will never pick up this much pigment. Then I'm just using a blending brush to make sure everything's blended and going over the colors to make sure that they stay bright. I'm going back in the dark blue and putting this on my lower lash line. A tip to make all your eyeshadow cohesive is making the lower lash line reflect the upper one, so I'm going back into the powder blue and blending this into the darker blue. Going against the rules a little bit, I'm using a pop of purple for the inner corner. I just thought it was really cool and I wanted to use that purple, so that's why that's there. And then give your lashes a curl, use your mascara of choice to finish off that look. I wanted a more neutral sort of lip, so this is MAC's Powder Kiss in the shade Impulsive. I absolutely love this color and this formula. It's not really like a traditional nude, but I think it just goes so well with my face and my skin. And then I wanted some gloss to keep everything nice and shiny, so I used the Glossier Clear Gloss and pat it in. And that concludes the second look. Alright, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and let me know if there is something that you would like me to do. Not that I'll definitely do it, but maybe I just need ideas, but I'm really glad it's Christmas holidays soon. I can't wait. Enjoy and have a good holiday for me. Bye!